The Toronto Blue Jays are plotting something huge as some brand new reports have just dropped revealing some crucial information not only on the Jays free agency plans, but folks, this report is exactly what we wanted to hear. The Jays are plotting something massive. We're going to break down exactly who they are plotting for, but also what this report entails, as well as a few other updates on this episode. You're going to want to stay tuned until the end because a lot of valuable information in here. But before we get into it all, folks, if you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, we're almost at 21,000 subscribers. Your guys' support has been unbelievable. I read every comment. Thank you guys for your continued support. It truly means the world to me, folks. I have a ton of updates to go over today. And quick note as well, Ross Atkins will be speaking out this afternoon. So I will have a video as soon as that press conference or media scrum concludes, and I'll break all of it down. So stay tuned for that. It should be around, I think, 1 Eastern, 1:30 Eastern, maybe 2 Eastern by the time the video comes out. Folks, let's dive right into the big news of today. Now, obviously, we know that the Jays, they already made a move. They got Shane Bieber back, and that has been fantastic. But Keegan Matheson has just dropped a report revealing, you can see here, work remains for the Blue Jays rotation, but the early slots could line up with Gausman, Savage, Bieber, and Berríos. We know that is really good, and some people are starting to think, okay, you have those guys, you have Bowden Francis in the woodworks, Eric Lauer. They might take it easy on the starting pitchers now that they got Shane Bieber. Wrong. Keep in mind that both Gausman and Bieber are free agents at the end of 26, so the Blue Jays will be targeting long-term options at the top end of the market, not just stopgaps. Keegan Matheson of MLB.com said this clearly. They are not, and the acquisition, or I guess the re-signing of Shane Bieber, Bieber opting into Bieber ultimately opting into his deal rather than just somehow, opting out and just going for the free agency like we all thought he was going to. This is massive because they are not only going for top end talent. We're going to dive into a player in particular here in a minute, but they're doing so in a fashion that this team is going to be going all in. And we'll dive into some players, some new articles, some new reports, but this is really, really big for the Toronto Blue Jays. No matter what way you put it, no matter what way you slice it, they're going to be going after some absolute beasts. And that's the big thing here. So keep this report in mind as we dive into some other things, long-term options at the end of the market. Now, within another article, you can see here that dropped revealing a bunch of starting pitchers, a bunch of free agents with potential fits. You can see the Jays linked once again to Framber Valdez. So Framber Valdez was on track to be the top starting pitcher in this year's class, and he obviously was really, really good. Ultimately has dealt with some injuries, but folks, keep an eye out on Framber Valdez. Yes, he is 32 years old. However, this is a guy that has shown immense amount of potential. We're going to dive into a bunch of different things, so stay tuned. I'll just give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. But Framber Valdez, is really good. I mean, you can see here 3.66 ERA, and that's even with his end of year being horrible. Year before 2.91, but he is a lefty that yes is 32, but and you can he's going to have a pretty big contract. We'll dive into some projections here later on in the video, but he is a guy that he is at the top end of the market. He will cost a hefty amount, but you can then have him for 3 or 4 years until he turns, mid to late 30s. Now, what the downside of this is he is, 31, going to be turning 32. However, on the bright side here, right? He is 32 actually right now. He'll be turning 33 next year or so, because I don't think Savant updated it. He has such a good track record of being a very solid starting pitcher. Sometimes he's been elite in 2024. Sometimes he's been a bit more average, like last year, even though he had you can see here, he had a 10-star run where it was a 6.05 ERA. His ERA before that was dominant. Some of his, peripherals aren't great. You can see they're on base. This is Baseball Savant for those wondering as well. But it makes things very interesting for me because, yes, he's going to be 32 in 2026. His WAR last year was 4. In the last 4 seasons, he ranked second in the majors in innings pitched. You're getting yourself, if you have a starting rotation of Kevin Gausman, Trey Savage, José Berríos, Shane Bieber, and Framber Valdez, that is one of the, if not the best. You're going right up against the Dodgers, of course, not to brand too soon to even mention their name, but you're going up with one of the best starting rotations in baseball and guys that are still filled with veterans, which is what you want at this point. Now, I do think they're going to go for some other guys, which we'll dive into in a minute here, but you already got Shane Bieber back. Maybe they work on an extension with him, but getting a guy like Framber Valdez would be fantastic. And you can see here, while it doesn't rack up strikeouts like some of the front rotation starters, he's not late career Mark Burley either. He throws in the mid-90s and tends to put up a strikeout percentage 1 or 2 points above league average. And because he doesn't rely fully on velocity, he relies a lot on command. He averages about 94.2. He can go out and throw 95, but he'll age pretty good as well. And this team made it to the World Series last year with a variety of starting pitchers. I love the idea of Framber Valdez. And let me know down below what your thoughts are on this, because it lines up exactly with what Keegan Matheson's report is. They still have some prospects they could call up, but I think they're more in the mindset now of go all in, run it back, make the World Series again. And a lot of that, of course, relies on Bichette, which we'll have future videos on. I'm sure we'll hear some from Ross Atkins today, but I love it. Now, on the other side, there is some other pitchers as well that the Jays have been linked to. Dylan Cease. He didn't have a great year last year, but he is still at the top end of the market. He throws gas, but at the same time, he would be a lot cheaper. He finished with 8-12 with a 4.55 ERA. Now, he has some great peripherals, dominant velocity, dominant whiff percentage. And if you want a really, really electric arm to start in your rotation, Dylan Cease could be a great complementary piece to some of the other pitchers that we have. You have two splitters in Kevin Gausman and Trey Savage. Of course, you have José Berríos, just kind of a workhorse out there. And assuming they don't bring Chris Bassett back, Shane Bieber ultimately is not a velocity guy either. Could bring them a different look. Now, one of the benefits of Valdez, he's a lefty. For Dylan Cease, he'll be only 30, so he's younger, and this is a guy that has a bit more. I mean, he has a higher ceiling than Framber Valdez because he was once Dylan Cease, a Cy Young caliber player, but I mean, he is just an elite pitcher when he is on. Now, he does have his struggles. He has his command issues, all these different things. He enters free agency coming off of 2 seasons with an ERA over 4.5. But folks, if you tell me that you can get Dylan Cease fairly cheap, and money doesn't really matter for the Jays at this point, but fairly cheap, go all in. The underlying numbers are great at 3.56 FIP, a 3.46 expected ERA. So he was underperforming his expected numbers. I'm just so excited to see what this team can do because all the reports are saying that they're going to go out and get Bichette back. You're going to go out, you're going to be at the top end of the market, especially for starting pitchers. Get some more bullpen help. Hell, go out and get Kyle Tucker like I made a video on yesterday. There's so many avenues for this team to be successful now. And yes, the World Series was absolutely heartbreaking, but you have so many things going for you. And you have Shane Bieber opting into his deal. He clearly talked with his family. His wife, I think, went on Instagram and posted how much he loved Toronto, how much they love Toronto. They obviously have a young kid, I think a 1-year-old son or daughter, but they're so excited to be back. You think about Louis Varland, how excited he is to be here. He's obviously on a contract for a while. Everyone loves the city. Everyone loves the team, and these are things that are going to matter when you're going out and trying to get the top-end talent, whether that be Framber Valdez, whether that be a guy like Kyle Tucker, who the Jays are interested in. And it all goes to show that not only are the Jays plotting something massive this year, in this offseason rather, they're coming off of a World Series appearance. And I'm very curious to see what Ross Atkins says today. I'm sure they're going to be adamant about bringing back Bichette. But beyond that, we're a few days removed now from the horrific Game 7 loss. I'm excited for what this offseason has to offer. You got a fantastic robbery of a deal with Shane Bieber opting in. You can bring back Bichette. You can upgrade the things that we know need upgrading, make the bullpen better. And there's no reason you can't run it back. Yes, it's like lightning in a bottle, but at the same time, there's a reason that these guys play so well. It's because they love one another. And there was a recent article done last year about opposing players saying they love Toronto. They love the city. This is something that's not talked about enough. This is from last year, 3rd out of all teams in opposing players, likeness of the city. So I'm excited. I can guarantee you guys some big moves are coming here. And I would love for it to be Framber Valdez. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. But folks, like Keegan Matheson said, top end of the market. Boy, am I excited. And the best part is I'm here every step of the way, videos every single day until the beginning of the next, spring training, beginning of next season. And even then, videos every day. Haven't missed a video in over 2 years for you guys, almost 3 years. So you guys mean the world to me. If you made it this far, comment down below. Comment down below. Go Jays, go. If you made it this far, and I'll heart all your comments. Cheers.